Christian McCaffrey for MVP, Offensive Player of the Year, stuff like that. Is that possible? Running back. So I was with a friend, Bucks fan, so she needs to work out her life choices anyways. But I was like, oh yeah, like I think that if the 49ers end up getting the number 1 seed, I know right now the Eagles are also undefeated and talking, I'm going on too many tangents, but I think the Eagles will get better as the season goes on because they have new coordinators, which also I think is an issue that we're having with our defense that we didn't really mention in the defensive struggles. I think that Steve Wilkes is just getting into a flow as well with things, and that the defense will get even better. I was listening to Jesse, and he was talking about different areas of our defense have started slow every year, regardless. And if you think about that, like D'Amico was in the building at least when he was transferring from Saleh from Saleh to D'Amico. And so like for Wilkes, this is all brand new. But my friend is a Bucks fan. I was telling her that Christian McCaffrey could make a case to win MVP if the 49ers were to get the number 1 seed. Yeah. And her response was, well, wouldn't Purdy? Because my thought was, though, the problem he would have is he's a running back. And so then her response was, well, wouldn't Purdy get it then? Because he is a quarterback. And I was like, no, that I don't think so at all. So who do you think? I'll ask you 2 questions, but I'm going to start with who do you think is more valuable to this team, to the winning streak that they've been on, Brock Purdy or Christian McCaffrey?
Well, first, it's weighted because quarterback is the most important position on the team. So that that gives a little bit more weight for Brock Purdy. But the reality is, if you look at what they're doing right now, if CMC continues to play the way he's playing, if he continues to trend the way he's trending, if there's no decline there at all, CMC is the MVP of the league. And it doesn't happen very often for running backs. The last time was like Adrian Peterson, like a long time ago, maybe 10 years ago. But legitimately, if CMC continues to run for as many yards and as many touchdowns and catch as many passes and continues to trend the direction he's trending, you're talking about a record-breaking season for CMC and a almost zero question MVP of the league. So is he the MVP of the team? Yeah, he is. And if you're looking at Brock Purdy's, he's doing really good. Like people really don't like objective analysis of Brock Purdy in this fan base. But if we're being honest, Brock Purdy's trending 20.75 touchdowns. That's not a lot. That's not a lot. So no, to me, there's no way you can say Brock Purdy's the MVP of this team or of the league at all. CMC is definitely the MVP of this team, and he's trending to be the MVP of the league right now if he continues at this pace. So I don't think there's a real question in that regard. Now, if you take the quarterback out of it, if you took Brock Purdy out of it, this could be a different team. I don't want to see Sam Darnold out here running this team. And the quarterback position is really important, and Brock Purdy's doing a great job. I'm not trying to knock him, but no, CMC is like a Hall of Famer. Brock Purdy is TBD at this point.
I completely agree. I think Christian McCaffrey will get a touchdown in this game, so that'll be 14 straight games. And I think him and Kyle Shanahan are going for it's a guy named Lenny Moore. I only know this because Steph Sanchez tweeted about it a couple days ago, but he had 18 straight touchdowns. I think that the 49ers are going to try to go for that because I feel like they'll be in the playoffs. I think they want Christian McCaffrey to break that record for sure. I also think he is them. I think I was asking about MVP, and I think he'll have an opportunity for MVP of the league. Obviously, we never know what quarterbacks on other teams are going to do, and the league does seem to give nods to quarterbacks when it comes to that award. But if he was to keep up the same production, not get injured, and the Niners were to continue their success, I feel like he would have an extremely strong case. And I know Kyle Shanahan was asked about that, and he kind of was like, oh, well, like the only problem is statistics. So like, I'm going to have to give him even more touches, which I found kind of hilarious just watching as a fan, because with all the discussion and even coming from myself kind of being like, we should settle on running CMC literally every chance you get. And he was like prompted that question. He was like, that's a great idea. I'm going to give him the ball more. It was right. kind of hilarious. But taking that from our opinions, which one do you think that Kyle Shanahan thinks is more valuable? Because we've kind of talked about Kyle Shanahan's the new way that he's speaking about his quarterback and whether or not he's evolved as whether or not this has been a mental discussion or if he's just so in love he can't help himself but to gush about his new guy. But I think if there was this was like Flavor of Love and people were competing for Kyle Shanahan's affection, that Christian McCaffrey might win. So I am curious, in your opinion, who do you think that in his heart of hearts, maybe not what he would say outwardly, but in his heart of hearts, who do you think Kyle Shanahan thinks is more valuable to this team, Christian McCaffrey or Brock Purdy, his new guy?
The tough part about it is because the quarterback is so important, right? It's so important. Like, they touch the ball in every freaking play. Like, if you don't have a serviceable quarterback, you can't just hand the ball off, right? So
they have Steve Young at backup, though.
No, they do have the next Steve Young. That's true. So maybe they could go with Big Red there. No, I don't know. That's a tough question. I think he knows what's up. I think he knows exactly what we're talking about right now. That CMC is really the big force behind this offense right now, but he also knows that you need a serviceable quarterback in order to make everything work. And Brock Purdy is doing a great job at that. So I don't know. I think he would feel the same way we do. He knows CMC is that guy, but he wouldn't move on from Brock Purdy unless he had a replacement, because that quarterback position is everything. You got to have a good quarterback if you want to compete in this league, and he does right now. So I don't know. It's a tough question. I think he would just answer the same way we're answering right now.
I agree. I think like if you had to, because the way my friend phrased it is they were said, if Kyle had to trade one of them right now, which one would you do? And I was like, well, luckily that's not a problem that we are or that the 49ers are currently facing. I feel like it would, I don't know, because I did make that joke about, I feel like Kyle has a little cockiness to him. So he could be like, nah, I'll do it with Sam too and just keep Christian McCaffrey.
He might, honestly. Maybe he turns Sam Darnold into the next big thing. Maybe he is the next Steve Young. Sam Darnold can throw the shit out of the ball. It's the mental part, but maybe Kyle can work with that. But I have a feeling if Sam Darnold has to play like extended games, he's going to be a little Jimmy G-ish, and I don't think Kyle's going to appreciate that at all. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
Hopefully we don't see. Actually.
Yeah, hopefully we don't.